Hi friends, welcome back to Micro Squad. My name is Gabby. Today I have like a yellow and blue theme going on with my outfit and the equipment I'm using. So I have the 1 pound ankle weights that I'm going to put on my feet. And then I have the 10-pound Bala ring. So that inspired the theme of the workout and of my outfit. Pretty good times. And fun fact, I was mentioning this to Sam, my school colors for elementary school, middle school, high school, and college were all these blue and gold colors, and never like a navy blue. It was always royal blue, and it was always some sort of yellow or gold. So we're feeling team spirited today, and we're gonna start on our backs. Cool. Coming down onto our backs. So we can start with just reaching our hands overhead, toes extended, just closing your eyes, settling in for a few moments, and taking some deep breaths. And then when you're ready, start to slowly open your eyes, bring movement into the toes, into the fingers. And we're going to start with a little twisted crunch. So we're going to start hands behind the head, rolling up slightly, low back, press down into the floor, and then those heavy little 1 pound legs, lift them up, feeling that shake. And we're going to twist to one side, go back to that extended position. Your feet are hovered over the floor, twist to the other side. That's all, hitting both sides, keeping the legs squeezed together, toes extended out really, really long, and try to tap that elbow to that knee. Keeping your low back pressed down here, super important. If your legs are a little bit higher to keep your low back down, that's fine. More challenging as your feet get lower and you keep that low back down. Warming up the core, crunching those obliques. We're here for 10. We're gonna meet extended out. So right at that center, hands still behind the head. Try not to pull up on the neck. You'll meet at center in 3, 2, and 1. Center. Go ahead and bend the knees. Hands still behind the neck. Now you can either roll up like you were just now, or you can rest your head down. We're gonna send our toes out and then lift them up. So we're in a tabletop position, upside down tabletop. You can also bring those hands for a little bit of assistance right next to you. Toes going down and coming back up. Moving very much. I mean, they're my toes all the way down. Especially with those weights. Maybe without the weights I could do it. So, belly button pressed into the floor here. I've actually moved my hands to right under my booty for that assistance. Trying to keep your knees together and staying at that degree bend. Starting to feel this in the legs as well because we have those weights on our ankles. So hang on to it. Doing good here for 8. Good. We're going to bring in that ring. We have some glute bridges coming. 2, and you can drop the feet. Whew, start feeling those quads actually. And we're gonna pick up that ring, bring it across your hips. We have some glute bridges here. So laying your head flat on the floor, and then let's do with our heels up. So normally we press our heels into the ground. We're gonna lift them up. Knees are still hip width distance. We have that ring across the waist so that we have that added weight as we lift up and squeeze the booty. So just lifting that booty and then trying to get that extra weight. You have those heels lifted, so it feels a little bit different in the inner thighs. I feel it a little bit more there. Trying to keep that balance without those heels pressed in. So glutes and inner thighs, that little extra added weight across the hips, whatever's comfortable. I have it like resting on the top part of my legs. Whatever feels good. Just getting a little extra weight here. And then really squeezing the glutes at the top. Maybe you hold it, get that little shake, and then hover the booty over the floor. That keeps those muscles engaged. Working this whole time. Really good. Got about 15 more seconds. Awesome. We're here for 10. We're going to drop those heels. We're going to do a Russian twist. So you're going to roll up slightly and keep that 10-pound ring in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. All right, roll it on up. Keep that ring. We're going to start with our shoulders behind our hips. You can have those heels pressed into the ground, or you can lift them up. You can even do that as we get going. So twisting it out here, try to get your elbow down to the ground. That's really just making sure you're twisting all the way and meeting back at center. When you come to center, shoulders are still behind those hips. And then if you want to float those feet, a little more challenging here as you twist. Whew, gotta take it a little bit slower to keep that balance. Nice work. So getting those obliques as we move to the side, still getting that center core as we come to the center, because we're keeping those shoulders behind those hips. Make sure you squeeze and engage the core. Doing good. We get to lay back down coming up. Last move, laying down on our backs coming up. We got skull crushers. We're going to get into those triceps in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Roll it on down. Whew, that feels nice. All right, pressing that low back down, heels pressed into the ground this time. We're going to bring that ring above our eye level and then shift forward to like the crown of your head. From here, maybe you keep that ring on the ground, pull it back up. So, and you'll lift of the ring towards the crown of your head. And with the arms straight, you're going to feel it in your core. Elbows extend. Go. Good. So focus on that tricep. Feel it here. And those triceps. Make sure you keep things still besides right at that. Those not over your eye level, just a slight hinge, and then tap the ring down to the floor. In here, so make sure you're not going out wide. You want to hug them in, lock the shoulder. Just like you're in a plank, like almost in a plank, just where you hug those elbows in, and those elbows, good. Hips on fire here. To one side, break from the ring, we'll get back to it. We'll set on the ground. We're going to over to one side. 3, and 1. Little break from the ring here. Roll it on over to the side and then roll on to your side. So I'm on my left side. If you want to match that, you can. So laying on the left side, the top leg is going to hover over. Bottom leg is extended and sort of active, but not lifted. And then your top hand is just right in front of your belly, pressing down, and you can prop your head up or lay it all the way down. From here, you're going to bring your top leg forward slightly and then sweep it back, actually. So this is really challenging for that balance. You feel it in those obliques a lot. And then check in on that rib that's closest to the ground. Make sure it's not collapsed on the ground. You kind of want to feel a little bit of activation right there. Even though that top oblique is really, really working hard right now. Just from that little sweep, just that little motion of your leg going forward and a little bit back. Really challenging to balance here. Try not to roll over like I just did. So keeping everything super still, trying to stay with those hips stacked. So even as you bring the leg forward and slightly behind you, you want your hips super stacked. Doing good. Hang on to it. I know that leg feels so heavy. We're going to bring that top leg, bend it, and place it on the ground right in front of that leg that's on the floor. So I'll show you that. We'll get there in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down in front of the thigh of the leg that's on the ground. And then same position with those hands positioned on the floor here. Lifting that bottom leg, we're going to feel those inner thighs working here. So just a lift and lower of that bottom leg. Feel those inner thighs squeeze. And then once again, check up on that rib, the one that's on the ground. For me, that's the left. Make sure it's not just collapsed onto the ground. Kind of tuck it in here. Doing so good. Staying active in that core. Straighten those legs, point those toes, really squeeze, really extend. You'll feel those inner thighs shake. Good. We're going to let that bottom leg just relax on the floor here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. From here, top leg is going to lift and just little lifts here. So the side of that ankle lifting up towards the ceiling. Point those toes and just lift. You'll feel it in the outer glutes, the outer thighs. Stay strong. Hips are stacked. Core is engaged. That leg lifts. Doing so good. That bottom leg can either be resting or a little bit active. Straight leg, point the toes. Doesn't have to be elevated, but just notice that it's there. We're going to hold that leg up, just those little pulses to finish for 8, 7. When we're done, we're going to meet with it lifted. We got one more move here on this side. Holding it up, 3, 2, and 1. Don't drop, you guys got it. We're going to bring that knee to your elbow and then extend it back out. Good. So a little break from the outer glutes back into that oblique. So strong here. Elbow to knee connection. Hips stay stacked. Try not to roll onto that hip that's on the floor. Try not to roll it around. Stay super still. Really good. We're going to switch it out right over to the other side. You can either roll over, or I'm going to switch sides and still face you. Coming up in 6. Stay up. You guys got it. Here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, awesome job. Roll it on over to that other side. And then we're gonna start same way as we did. So laying on, now I'm on my right side. If you are on the same side, then I'm propping up my head, bringing this top hand for that balance. And we start with lifting that top leg and sweeping it forward and control, bringing it slightly behind us here. So working on that balance, really strong here. Make sure those hips stay stacked. It's really easy, especially with these extra added weight to our feet. It's really easy to just want to roll over. So you're really trying to keep that core tight, focusing on those obliques. Feel it in those leg muscles as well, because we do have that extra added weight on top of the body weight. So really good, keeping that balance and going really slow. That's what's going to help us keep the balance and make this move efficient. You could just swing your leg around, but it just wouldn't be as effective here. So slow and controlled, working on that balance, working on that stability in the core. Really good. Hang on to it. We got about 12 more seconds here. Staying strong. Next up, that is going to bend and come right in front of that thigh leg that's on the floor. We'll meet there in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That leg was a little bit more challenging for me. I was wiggling around, but that's good to get that side in as well. Got those inner thighs already started here, so that top leg is across just for that balance. and then you're working that bottom leg. You want to feel those inner thighs. You want to stay super straight on this move. Once again, you're on that bottom hip and you're not wiggling around in those hips. So your core is tight. Make sure that rib cage is not collapsing onto the ground. You want to keep it somewhat active. And then you're just lifting that bottom leg, really feeling it in those inner thighs, squeezing, lifting, hanging on to it. Got those couple more moves on our side. And then we'll stand it up. We'll finish standing too. So just so you have an idea how to manage your time. All right, we're gonna bring that top leg, extend it out in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inner thighs burning. So that top leg is back, it's extended, you're on your side, and then from here, you just lifting that leg and pulsing from here. Lifting and lowering. Not lowering all the way down, so just bringing it back a few inches off the ground. Got those toes pointed, you're the outer glutes. You can even hand there and feel, I can feel those muscles working. Top hand in front for balance. Because after this, we're going into those little bend and extend with that top leg. That bottom leg is active. You know that it's there, so it's straight, it's pointed, but it's not necessarily lifted. We're gonna bend and extend the top leg in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job fighting through it. You got it. Bend that knee. Feel that little bit of relief. And then you're right back into it. Bending and extending. Challenging the obliques here once again with that control. Knee to elbow connection. And then extending. You guys stay with it. This is it for that. We're going to stand it up for some legs and some arms, some combo moves. That will be it. You guys got it. Staying strong. We're going to stand it up. We're going to bring that ring back into play. 8 more seconds. You got it. Here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. I got some little knee pops in there for those last ones. All right, once you're ready, we're going to grab that ring. It's coming back into play. We're going to stand all the way up, shake out those legs. We're going to get right back into those muscles, and then we're going to do some combo moves with the arms as well. So let's just get started as we're standing, heels planted with some deadlifts. So hinging at the hips, little soft bend in the knees, and then tap that ring onto the floor. So getting started here, practicing hinging at the hips and keeping that core tight. So right when you start, core is tight, shifting the hips back, still keeping the core tight. That weight isn't pulling you down, you're controlling it. So you're telling this weight where to go. It's going all the way to the floor and then coming up. You should feel a really big stretch in your hamstrings when you're first getting going. And then once you're in it, maybe halfway, you'll feel really, really strong in those hamstrings. Squeezing the glutes at the top. Once again, that core is working just as hard as those legs. You have that 10-pound weight that you, once again, are controlling. You're not letting it just drop to the floor. You're keeping that core tight. You're managing this weight. Hips are hinging back, so you're not rounding your back, keeping those shoulders lifted the whole time. Good. We're going to add in a little twist for a combo, a little bit more in the obliques. And we're going to keep this deadlift going in 3, 2, and 1. So what I want you to do here is after the deadlift, bring this weight up to center, and then a little stand and twist, both sides. Come to center, deadlift, bring that back in, come up to center, stand and twist, elbow to knee. Good. So we make sure we're still getting those ankle weights, the use out of them as you lift that leg and twist. Once again, take your time here. Really slow and controlled. You got this 10 pounds up here and those extra added weights on the ankles. So it is important to go slow on these rather than if you're just doing it with your body weight. Getting into those obliques as you stand, and then the lower body for that deadlift. Good, we're gonna get a couple more in. We're here for 8. We're gonna stand it up for that next move. We have some lateral lunges in 3, 2, and 1. Cool, we're gonna stand it up. Lateral lunges. The way I like to do this so that the ring doesn't touch the floor is have the ring on the side that I'm lunging. So I'm gonna step out with my right leg, tap the ring to the floor, come back to center. So I do have it in my right hand because I'm lunging out with my right leg, but that's just so that the ring doesn't hit the floor too early. I still want to get that hinge at my hips. I'm gonna show you from the side. Hinge at the hips and up. See how I send those hips back just like that deadlift. And then just bend, then making sure my knee comes over my pinky toe rather than maybe my big toe. So you're kind of pressing the knee out over towards that ring. So pressing out, good. Maybe even doing a check every time you go down. You check and come up. Really good, staying strong. Weight's getting heavy, I feel it. Even that leg's getting heavy from sending it out and in. Got those extra weights on, really good. We're gonna switch it to the other side in 4, 3, 2, and 1, really good. Switch it on over. Got it in my left hand this time, and I'm headed to the left. So stepping out, little tap on the floor, standing back up. Cool. Now I'm really short, I'm 5'2", so if you're not necessarily touching the weight, that's okay. I'm just using that as an indicator. If you're taller or not going down as far, that's totally fine. What we want to focus on here is those hips hinging, and then making sure the knee doesn't go over the toes. Want to push it towards that pinky toe rather than that big toe. So really press it out to the side over towards that ring. That's your target here. Press it out and then back in. Whew. Good. I'm running out of breath, and that means we're ending the workout, what I had planned. And yeah, I just have a little bit more in me breath-wise, and I have a little bit more for the workout. Manage my time well. Really good. We're here for 4. Stand it up. Last move coming up in 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, getting it together. Last move, we're gonna step back and lunge. As we do, we're gonna take a bicep curl. So if you need that bicep curl visual, you want your elbows tucked in and kind of flip this ring up for that bicep curl. We're gonna alternate stepping back. When we step back, you got that bicep curl. So a lot happening here. So feel free to take your time with that lunge. Even if you need to go all the way down, then do the bicep curl, because we don't want to use too much momentum. So that's why we're slow and thinking about all these things. We want to make sure that we're stacked 90 degrees. You can have a slight hinge forward, and then you have that bicep curl coming in. So elbows glued to your side. Whew. Full body right here. Awesome work. Working on that balance is, I know it's tough. Step back with that little anchor of just your back foot, really back your back toes. And then you have this 10-pound weight that you're curling. So a lot going on. This weight is not light, so you'll feel it in those biceps, and you'll definitely feel it in those legs. Got those quads working, got those glutes working. So good. Got that blue and yellow team spirit for you. Hang on to it, we're almost there. Got about 15 more seconds. Manage that time. Make the most of it. Here for 10. Got it. Stick with it. Don't give up. You got 6. You're all done in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right. That was it. That 10 pounds was no joke. These 1 pounds were no joke. So really good work. We'll see you next time on Micro Squad.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the Micro Squad. Please don't forget to subscribe, check out some of our other videos, and check out our on-demand classes. They are on our website, themicrosquad.com, and we'll see you next time.